Okay. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, dear sisters, and welcome to another soul nourishing episode of Sisters That Walk This Path, the podcast where we hold space for healing, growth, and deep conversations rooted in faith and wisdom. I am your host, Khadeejah Sulaimon, and today we have with us a very special guest, Sister Bushrah Bombata, a beloved voice in the space of healing and emotional awareness. Our topic for today is one that speaks to the hearts of many: understanding your attachment style, how to heal and attract the right partner. So, dear sisters, whether you're single, divorced, or in a relationship, this conversation will give you insight into why you connect the way you do and how to align your emotional needs with the love you truly deserve. So let's dive in, inshallah. So, salam alaikum warahmatullahi to my dear sister Bushrah. Welcome to the studio.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm really delighted to be here to share with you the little that I know and also maybe learn from you.
I hope so. Okay, so do you mind sharing a little bit about yourself so that our listeners can, get to know you better?
All right. Okay. So my name is Bushra Okelwu Bombata, and just like I was introduced, I am a I have been a marriage counselor for close to 9 years before I became a family system engineer practitioner. And what
Hmm,
happened? I knew over the years that marriages, relationship have their tough times, and not marriage counseling or alone cannot solve it. So
hmm,
I needed to do more. I went deeper. From my practice, I realized that people who are in relationships, there is more to their pain. And that was
hmm,
why I went into family system engineering practitioner that afforded me the opportunity to work with women, family as a whole, and people with mild mental health. So there is no way I'm going to work with people in marriages without digging deep into their mental health. And that was
hmm.
why I went to go and equip myself with that. And aside that, I have worked with plenty people, countless, 2,000 couples. It's
Oh,
countless,
mashallah.
countless. I've worked with communities. I've worked with organizations, NASFAT, name it. I've worked with a lot of them, alhamdulillah. And
Alhamdulillah.
also, in my prayer of practice, I believe in learning and growing. Now, like I said, over like 10, 15, 10, 11 years of my professional practice, I realized that there is something missing in this marriage and relationship of a thing.
Hmm.
It is beyond marriage itself. I work with
Wow.
married people and I realize that okay, there's always a marriage problem and all of that. And people, if you ask them to come for marriage counseling, is either the man is not willing to come or the
Hmm.
woman is willing to come. Or both of
Yeah.
them come just once and the second time they went back home, just fix it that moment and get
Hmm.
carried away and they flew again. And I said, okay, there's something wrong somewhere that we need to do more. To be honest with you, marriage counseling is effective if,
Hmm.
like I said in quotes, if only those people in marriages can personally work on themselves. And that's what I wanted to say. And that was what I discovered. And over the years, I've been thinking, oh, what can I do? What can I do? And last year, I was able to come up with a program called Single and Secure. I don't know if you have heard about it. And
I
why did I bring
have.
that up? I
Hmm.
realized that single people, before they get married, they have bad choices. They
Yeah.
couldn't say no to. They had baggages. They
Hmm.
couldn't fix. They didn't even know themselves. They are lost. Some of them
Yeah.
said yes when they know this cannot work. It is
Hmm.
not because they were hypnotized. It was because there's something in them that pushed them to even go to where they knew that it will not work.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
for me, it's a case of go back to the basics,
Hmm.
go back to the roots. And that was why I said every single person. My niche now is premarital counseling. I'm really
Mm.
big on this, and you cannot go through my premarital counseling without going back um to your baggages. I will feed in your baggage. There's no
Yeah.
way we can work without it. Your traumas, we need to work on it.
Yeah.
So that was when I created that community last year, and alhamdulillah, it was really a big event where we work on individuals. Before you say yes, let's see you. Let's know
Yeah.
what you know. Let's understand you. Let's help you understand who you really are.
You really
The
are. Hmm.
question of who are you, it's always going silent when you ask people. They either say,
Hmm.
my name is Amama Bidemi, or my name is Guided Serenity. I work with Guided Serenity. I'm from
Hmm.
Lagos State and I'm okay. And that's
Yes.
if you take away the name, the
Hmm.
status, the whatever you're
Your
working on,
profession.
the
Yeah.
profession, what remains? A lot of people don't know.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
if you don't know yourself, chances are that you enter and find yourself in relationships. And that is when you enter, and maybe one thing or the other growth come in and start discovering that this is me and I am
Hmm.
not supposed to be here. So if
Hmm.
you find out that you're not supposed to be here, the problem, another problem is how can I live?
Yeah.
How can I find myself? Some people found themselves and they're just in a mess. And that's what I preach right now. I do that. And I also work with single people, young adults that are willing to work on themselves before they settle down. All we
Hmm.
talk about is your personal development, spiritual development, growth,
Hmm.
and moral development before you say yes, so that you know
Hmm.
what you want. And that's it. So this is what I've been doing. And what else? And that's just
Wow.
basically me.
Subhanallah. That's so insightful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow.
Mm.
I'm sure
Mhm.
many of our listeners are nodding their heads, seeing themselves in what you've
Mhm.
just described. So
Mhm.
let's explore this a little further, sister. So, and
Okay.
we are going to begin with the basics. So, what
Okay.
exactly are attachment style and how are they formed?
Okay. So I will define attachment style first, and I
Hmm.
will describe how. Basically, I'm not going to use so much grammar for everybody to understand.
Thank you.
Yeah. So attachment styles are how people's emotions are expressed
Hmm.
either elderly or unelderly.
Hmm.
Yes, this shows how confident and competent you are in dealing with other people you are in a relationship with.
Hmm.
That's just attachment style. How you see
Wow.
yourself, how you manage yourself in a relationship.
Hmm.
That's it. In a romantic relationship. Yes. So
Wow.
that's attachment style. That's how I can describe attachment style. And I will go back to how it's being formed.
Yeah.
Now, there are four basic, what will I call it? I'm looking for the right words. Four
Hmm.
basic predictors of attachment styles. And that
Okay.
is being seen,
Hmm.
soothed, safe, and secure.
Hmm.
Those are the four factors that
Yeah.
they are predictors of that attachment style. So when children are born, they have these four factors,
Hmm.
when they are crying, you go there, you want to rush and carry them. They feel safe with you
Yes.
because they
Mm-hmm.
cry, you hurt them. They feel
Hmm.
seen, right? They
Hmm.
cry, you soothe them, right? And obviously, when they are going somewhere and something they want to fall, you rush to meet them and you carry them. They feel safe.
Hmm. Yeah.
But this, but as time goes on, the caregiver, the people that take care of them,
Hmm.
your parents, and all of that, map their love and map their emotions.
Hmm.
And so some of them feel unseen, unsoothed, and not safe. And when I'm talking about being seen, your need for attention is never a mistake for overindulgence.
Yes.
Like your need for attention. This is
Hmm.
a very important emotional need for everybody or
Yeah.
every individual, particularly children. When children seek for attention, in this part of the world, they say, okay, so when a child has fear of, feeling fear of being dismissed, overlooked by a
Yeah.
caregiver, then
mm,
you don't feel like sin. See, for example, your child comes to you and tell you that, um, mommy, I want something. And okay, so let me give an example of a family setting so that it will be more understood. Like
mm,
you have three children in a house, and because one of them is doing fantastically well in maybe in school, and the other one is not doing fine, right? Remember,
yeah.
you have the same all of these things. They are saying so said safe and secure at everybody. But the moment
Mm,
that when a child starts seeking for something and you make them feel like they are not heard, and that's when they start mapping them. You start defining to them how to get attached to.
mm,
Now, when there are two in this house, for example, there are three children in the house, and one is doing well according to your own mind, really.
mm,
And anytime that one wants something, you run to go and give it to him or her. And the other one, whenever that one says, I'm having a headache, you say, well, I don't care, or something. You give the look of, I don't care. It means that they feel unseen. And gradually, they battle these things themselves and they
mm.
learn, they yearn for it. When a child yearn for it, children, they want attention. And when they
Yes.
want to cough, it might be that they just want your attention and they cough. All we
Mm-hmm.
do is shut them down. We don't give them attention. They get to learn how to hone these things themselves
Yeah.
and figure it out themselves. And it affects them in their relationship in the future. All of these things happened from the beginning. And
Mm,
the sweet part of it is they want comfort.
mm, mm. Hello?
Okay, so we've talked about being seen, right? And
Yes.
when the talk of being suited, nobody
Mm.
doesn't want to be suited, right? We
Yes.
need comfort. For example, when a child falls down trying to walk, you may go there to soothe them and all of that. Are you okay? Are you sure you
Mm.
did not fall down? That is being making sure that is what they want, and that's what every individual needs.
Yes.
Now, but at other times, when somebody fall, they will in Nigeria, I don't know, Africa, if you fall, they will beat you for falling down.
That's
If
so
you
true.
fall,
That's so true. And they ask you, what were you looking at?
what were you looking
How
at?
did you fall? Oh my goodness. That's so
Yes,
true.
not just noticing the feel, but also affirming their efforts in trying to, for example, the one that is trying to work, they're making efforts in working.
Yeah.
Let's assume they're trying, obviously, they don't intentionally want to hurt themselves. They are
Mm.
making effort to do something, and something wrong went with them. And instead of us to go into them, ask them if they are fine, if you're okay, and all, we start shouting.
Mm.
We start shouting, or the one they will beat. Imagine Nigerian parents, African parents will beat you. They will say, why are you crying?
Yes. Oh my God. Such abuse.
So it's an abuse, and we don't know how these things affect us. And that's about
Mm.
suit. Safe, you know, safe means a child will not cause harm to the child. Safe, like a child's caregiver, the mother, the parents, the people that are around you. You are telling the child that I am going to keep you safe.
Mm.
Safety here means the ability of the caregiver to protect the child from their own inadequacies.
Yes.
E.g., like I said, all of these things, all these our um, attachments that are born out of other people's emotion on us too.
Mm.
Like for
Yeah.
someone, for like in this safety, what I'm trying to explain is that the caregiver's inadequacy. You are
Mm.
angry. How are you doing? You're transferring anger on someone, and they feel like they are scared. For
Mm.
example, domestic violence. Are
Mm.
they safe in there? That
Mm.
safety is the safety of I'm my caregiver. I'm safe with my caregiver. That's what I meant to
Caregiver.
say.
Yeah.
Yes, the domestic violence, the anger, your inadequacies, they feel
Mm.
safe in it, right? So that's about being safe. And when it comes to secure, The fourth condition of that security in this aspect is the ability of a caregiver to protect the child from outside harm,
Hmm.
physical or emotional, advocating for them. I'll give an example. Your child comes in and they tell you that, mommy, somebody bully me. The next thing you say, shey you cannot fight me.
Hmm.
You cannot go there and say, okay, I'm not saying you should go and fight, but let them know that, yes, if anything happened, I have somebody that can secure me. If I
Hmm.
am under harm, there's somebody somewhere that will say, okay, yes, let's go there. That is
Sure.
secure. And all of these things, if it is not present over the years, it
Hmm.
affects the way you see your relationship, the emotion you play in, and how you are going to do your relationship. Some people come off and they get angry easily. And you
Yeah.
don't want to know immediately. I don't jump into conclusion they have problems. But we have to check their background. There's something wrong with them.
Something
Most
is
we check
wrong.
the
Yes.
adverse childhood experiences. There's
Hmm.
something wrong with them. So all of these things, if these things are when these things are missing, then we start to talk about fractured attachments.
Hmm.
When all of these things are there, it means that they are secure.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that's the
Oh,
question I should be able
sh-
to. That's the
like that
question.
was beautiful. And I was just
Mhm,
listening in like, wow,
mhm,
like I can clearly relate to everything you've just shared. Wallahi, I
mhm,
can. MashaAllah.
mhm,
Wow.
mhm,
So I'm going to go to the next question, which will be, how
mhm,
can someone identify their own attachment style, especially if they didn't grow up in a secure or emotionally expressive household? I know you've shared something around that, but I would
okay.
really appreciate that you go deeper so that listeners can understand that,
Okay.
identify and be able to seek help where necessary.
Okay. You mean how they can identify that they have a fractured attachment?
How can they identify their own attachment style? And this
Okay.
is
So.
mostly speaking to those, the typical Nigerian household where you
Mhm,
can't be emotionally expressive, just like you shared. You fall down and they're like, "What were you looking at?" You have a failed marriage and they're like, "How did you do it? What happened?" You know, you can't express yourself emotionally because you're afraid
okay.
of what response you're gonna
Being
get.
judged. Yeah.
Yes.
Being judged.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll just start with how these things affect relationships. So you have to figure out if you are expressing this or experiencing this, then you know that you have a fractured attachment style.
Hmm.
Now, when it comes to in relationship, there is independence is going to play in relationships, and boundaries is going to play in relationship. Communication is going to play in relationship. So independence, when it comes to secure somebody that is secure, when it comes to independence, when somebody is secure in relationship, they are confident, they
Hmm.
ask for help, they are vulnerable enough to share their needs, they are independent and also have a level of confidence to seek help. That is
Hmm.
secure. And they feel others can be independent too to pursue their goals. And then we can pursue common goals. So it's a case of let me do it. Do you, let me do me, then we can do us. I don't know if that
Wow.
explained to you.
Wow,
Now,
it
it's
does.
because if you are secure, it means that you are confident enough to express your needs. You're not ashamed to say, okay, I am sorry. I don't think I am I am, I don't think I can eat this evening. But it's okay if you can eat.
Hmm.
It's okay if you can eat. And at the other times, you say, okay, yes, we can do this together. But they are not
Yeah.
ashamed to express their independence. They are not ashamed to also support the other people in relationship. Now
Yeah.
that is secure. Now, if you are anxious,
Hmm.
anxious people, they constantly express that they need. They're like, they want to be constantly suited. They constantly
Hmm.
want that to be seen, to feel safe. You get my point. They
Yes.
if their partner allows them to be, for example, if their partner is somebody that is secure and tell them, okay, it's okay, go and eat. These anxious people, they'll feel like, is it because you don't love me enough? That's why he said I should go. And it's crazy. Well, because
Yeah.
You get my point. They constantly
Yes.
need to be suited. They want to be fed all the time. You get, they just want to, they are not so dependent. Sorry,
Hmm.
they are independent. They're always depending on the emotional support. They are the one that want to always all call all the time. They're always scared. Okay, is he going to love me again? Is he not going to love
Hmm.
me again? Am I going to? They are constantly, because of course, while growing up, their emotions were dismissed or disapproved, or they
Hmm.
feel unseen while growing up. So they struggle that they don't want to have that again in relationship. So they
Yeah.
constantly want to feel like, okay, are you sure you love me? Are you sure I'm in your heart? Are you sure? If
Hmm.
you don't hear from their partner in 6 hours, sorry, 6 hours is
Hmm. It's
like
too
2 hours.
much.
It's like, are you sure you're okay? And these things, if you are in a relationship with a secure person, they get tired. They'll be like, okay,
Hmm.
what's this now?
Yeah.
What's this
Yeah.
now? Let me do. You remember? Do you? Okay, so
And let
for
me
let
do.
me use that word again so that you can understand. You know when I say secure people, do you?
Yes.
Let me do me. Let us
Hmm.
do us. But for
Yes.
anxious, they're always do me, do us,
Do
do
we
me, do
do?
us. You cannot do yourself.
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
anxious.
That's
If you
so
are in this,
true.
if you're in a relationship like that, you constantly want to be assured that, are you sure you love me? Even when the
Hmm.
person is telling you that I love you, doubt it.
Hmm.
You constantly want to be seen,
Hmm.
and when it comes to avoidance, this one, don't do for me and I will not do for you.
Hmm.
That, don't do for me and I will not do for you. They are totally avoidance people. I don't want it. Let me be on my own and you to be on your own. And it can
Hmm.
be so crazy. They don't
Yes.
care.
Hmm.
And of course, maybe at some point in their life, they were left unseen to struggle with life. These are
Hmm.
people that they got abandoned, they struggle with life. Maybe they went to school themselves, they paid their fees and all of that. And somebody is now coming in, you want to love. Oh, well, I have lived all my life without anybody. So don't come
Yeah.
with your own hala. And
And
that
I
is
know if you also observe, sorry to cut you there, this is also very
right.
common with divorced women. And I'm speaking from experience, where at some
Mhm.
point they get to a point in their lives where when people are proposing love to them, it's really hard for them to just,
Yes.
just be
Because
submissive to love, like they find it hard. It's a case of, what do you want to
very hard.
offer me? What do you want to offer me? I've
Exactly.
been there, I've
You've been
done that,
hurt
you know?
several times, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. And when it comes to intimacy, it's same way for secure people. They feel intimate, They're also accepting intimacy.
Mm,
Anxious people are difficult to maintain intimacy. They just want to be
mm,
there all the time. Like they are the
mm.
one that they don't want you to go out, nothing. They just want you to be locked in here. We are going anywhere, we are going
I
together,
used to get
you
that.
know. And that's that. Avoidance people, most of the time, they never had anyone around them. They are so not intimate. They avoid anything. They are the one that
Mm.
if you come to their house, you have to come there by 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, you make sure that you are leaving. Nothing after that because they don't want to accommodate it. And of course, there have been there are people that had
Oh my
trust
God.
issues. And now,
Mm.
most importantly, what really causes problem in most relationships is boundaries. And I'm going
Yeah.
to talk to that and pick if secure
Mm.
attachment people are able to express their boundaries clearly
Clearly,
and
yes.
compassionately. They are confident in spelling their boundaries. They don't pretend if they are not comfortable with it.
Hmm.
Yes, if they are hurt, they are not pretending. If something
Yeah.
is hurting them, they will speak, but they will do that passionately. You get
Mm.
my point? They will
Yeah.
express, they won't feel okay, they won't want to hurt themselves and they don't want to hurt you at the same time.
Yeah.
You get my point? They
Mm.
respect boundaries. If you tell them that, okay, so I don't want to sleep, they'll say, okay, no problem, you can just do something. But they would, but you cannot force them to come and watch movie at that time. They don't want to watch it because they want to
Hmm.
please you. They are not how to please you all the time. They want to
Yeah.
please themselves. They want to feel safe. They want you to feel safe, and both of you can feel safe in your relationship, and that's what they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you see, these people. Hmm. It's okay. So I would buttress it. Secure people also talk about their needs and respect other people's needs, and that's it.
Mm. Mm.
Now let's
Yes.
come to anxious. Hmm. These people, boundaries are what they struggle with the most. These
Yeah.
anxious people. They constantly want to be seen, soothed, and comforted. They
Hmm.
are unable to confidently spell their boundaries. They would most likely expand their boundaries to accommodate other people, even if it is discomforting them.
Yeah.
I want you to love me regardless, even if they are beating them. They shall want to feel loved.
They just
Even
want to
when they
be
know that
loved.
this person, I'm going to shoot you tomorrow, they say, I will die there. You know, yeah, because they sure want to feel, they don't care, they feel hurt,
Hmm.
like they are hurt, but they don't care about themselves, they only care about the other person. You get
Hmm.
my point? They
Yeah.
don't protect their own boundaries.
Hmm.
They protect other people's down. They are more, the more they do that, the more they are, but okay, and this is it, and this is it for anxious people. The
Hmm.
more your partner sees you that you are struggling, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm looking for the right word to use. You are trying to please them, to
Yeah.
displease yourself. So most times their partner take advantage of that.
Advantage of them, yes. They used it
Yes,
because it's a
yes,
weakness.
yeah, yeah. It's a weakness. Their
Hmm.
partners see them not. Eventually, they see them not valuable because,
Yes.
like, why are you putting down your values for me?
Yeah,
In
because
their
you've cheapened yourself for them.
Yes, there is that. They compromise a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah.
and they may, respect other people's boundary and forget about theirs. What is in their head is, I need, just suit me, regardless,
Yeah.
even if I'm in pain, just suit me, just suit me, just suit me. I'll give an example of what actually happened to me early years in my marriage. And in my first 5 years of marriage, like, it was really also trying to navigate, relationship and all of that. I remember that in my own house, in where I was coming from, we actually sleep early. By
Hmm.
8, by 7, dinner is served. By 8, after Isha, we just skip to sleep. And
Hmm.
the wonderful guy that I got married to, in their house, they're just taking dinner by 11 p.m., right?
Oh.
And that means that they're sleeping late, right? This conversation wasn't there when we had that.
Wow.
But I just find that my like that, like, okay, so because at that time I was a bit anxious. I
Hmm.
just want to, this relationship must, all of these things. I will go to bed, wait for my husband for a long time to come into bed. You remember, I get to sleep early, but
Hmm.
I don't sleep. I'll be feeling sleepy like this. I don't want to sleep because I'm waiting
Hmm.
for him to come into bed. Because after dinner, he still want to snack, because from his house they will snack. It doesn't. In fact, we had to fight that. I can't be cooking after dinner. He still
Oh
want to
my
relax
God.
because he's used to it. So, but
Hmm.
for me, I tend to wait up for him. And when he comes into bed, 5 minutes, my husband snores, and I said to, like, why? And if I don't sleep at that time, I lose
Hmm.
my sleep. And that happened that I won't wake up for tajud on time,
Hmm.
and my days, the following days, just model up. It means that things are going to shift behind. The
Hmm.
normal me, I wake up 3:30, wake up tajud, fine, sound, I'm feeling cool for the next day. I
Hmm.
realized that, okay, I get to shift my sleep like 4 hours because of him, because I feel like, okay, that's the way marriage should be.
Hmm.
Until on my journey to, counseling and therapy, I just learned that, okay, so I walk my way to being secure. And this is it. After that, I knew that, I realized that I'm hurting. Remember, I said that secure people want to feel safe. The partner
Yes.
is saying, we are safe too. Do me,
Yes.
do you,
You,
let's
you,
do
and let's do
us.
us. Yeah.
That's the
That's so
truth.
true.
So I had to have a meeting. I had a meeting with my husband. Like, husband, you know what? It is hurting me. It's affecting my health. I don't sleep well. It's affecting my tahajjud. I don't think this is what I want anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine. Now, how many days are you waking? Are you coming in early? If you are not coming early, anytime I sleep, Ogbeni, don't touch me.
Don't
Let me sleep.
touch me. I
You know?
like that. But a lot of women would rather dissatisfy themselves, displease
What the
themselves to please
hell?
the man, just because.
Yes.
And sometimes a lot of women also hide under Islam, saying, you can't refuse
Mhm.
your husband intimacy. If you do, the angels will curse you. But they always
Okay.
forget the part where Islam also
Mhm.
gives us the grace of saying, you know what, I'm tired. Can we do this in the morning, or can we do it when I feel more, when I feel stronger for it? But
Okay.
unfortunately. A lot of women are raised to, please others and displease themselves.
Okay, so in all of this conversation, I didn't say I was going to deny my husband. We are
Mm-hmm.
just going to go to the round table and figure me and
Exactly.
figure you. That's exactly, and that's the conversation. I didn't go with Amma and Soja. No, I
Mm-hmm.
went with comfortably with a nice voice,
Yes.
and I
Alhamdulillah.
just table this. I think I'm not comfortable with this affecting my health, and I don't
Mm,
think I have the nerves to always wait for you in bed. So if you have to come in early, we had the conversation. I'll make him understand how it is affecting me, because he
mm,
doesn't. I don't really nap in the afternoon. If he has the opportunity, he naps, and he feels good. He feels healthy. He feels fine. It's me that is affected. So we can be fine both, right? So when
mm-hmm,
at the time if
mm-hmm.
I go to bed, if I don't sleep in the afternoon, and you know I'm snoring before you come to bed, I beg you in the name of Allah, please don't touch. Let me sleep, because I'm very bad with sleep. And
Mm,
that is how I feel safe. He's safe too. And we still safe. We are still safe.
exactly.
And that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. And at that time, I was anxious. I was like, if I don't when it touches me, am I not going to? I got scattered. And until I realized that this is what I want to do. And that's just one out of so many things that happen to women.
Mm,
Islam did not say we should shut our mouths. Islam did not say we
yes.
don't, all right? Islam says do it femininely. There's a word I'm
Yeah.
trying to look for. And
Yeah.
I
In a
did that
in a
well, and
feminine
it's
way,
fine.
yes.
In a feminine way. And I got it. He's fine. I'm fine. He's not angry about this. He's just, oh, sorry, I don't know. And the truth is, they don't know these things. They don't even know that you're struggling. He
Hmm.
didn't know. It wasn't intentional. It's you that you want to kill yourself, Abby. And when I
Mm-hmm.
realized that, we had the conversation and we are cool. And that
Yeah.
is it. And the anxious and secure when it comes to boundaries. And when
Hmm.
it comes to avoidance, boundaries are like impenetrable wall. That's what I'm looking for. They are very strict with boundaries. Everything they even though they are confident people about their boundaries. They lack the compassion to understand the other people's emotional needs.
Hmm.
Yes. The minute you step over their boundaries, they block you out totally. Like
Totally.
they cut
Yes.
you off. No
Mm-hmm.
compassion on
Nothing.
anybody and their boundaries. And that's how they are. Now, when I'm talking about this, remember, secure, when you are secure, you are passionate about others. You want to feel safe, and other people should feel safe too, right?
Mm-hmm.
For anxious, you are so care. You only care about other people and not you,
Yeah.
because you constantly want to feel suits. You are their messes, right?
Hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
where we find ourselves, mostly women. And for
Yeah.
avoidance, are those one, they are selfish people. They don't care about you. Yes, you can see how the three plays out.
Yes. Yes, I can.
And that's so
But do you
if you are
also believe, I'm
finding
sorry to
yourself
cut you there.
in
I
this,
have a quick question there. Do you also believe
mhm,
that people can
mhm.
actually come from insecure to anxious to being avoidant? Do you think that situation, life might happen to someone and they
Yeah,
go from
of
that one
course.
phase to the other phase, to another phase entirely?
Absolutely. That's what we call disorganized attachment. The mixture of three. Yes. This plays out when a child feels secure, safe, then, they are fine growing up. And all of a sudden, trauma happens. They lose their
Hmm,
family, they are living with somebody else, or maybe they are fine until their adulthood and they had a relationship and something happened and they
hmm.
chop breakfast and everything just changed.
It's changed.
You get my point. And
Yeah.
it may also, they make them feel like, when they get adulthood, you're fine all along, you're feeling cool and all of that. You had relationship, and that's people that go into relationship again
Hmm,
after marriage. They leave the marriage. Now they are disorganized because they are
hmm,
suited at some point, they are feeling safe at some point. They shop breakfast, they had, divorces and all of that, and they want to just feel like, no, they become avoidance. So some
yeah.
people can go through that and at the same time end up like this. Some people went through trauma. They were
Hmm,
fine at all their lives and they got raped. And
hmm,
at some point, and the feeling of feeling safe get away. They don't trust people anymore. They just want to be sure that, so disorganized people, at some point, they are secure in one relationship and avoidant in another relationship. Some
Mm.
of them, they are really secure in terms of they are intimate with their friends, they communicate
Yeah.
well, they express themselves well, they, all of this, they do well when they are with their friends. But the moment
Yeah.
they turn into relationship, they feel so safe. They want to be sure that, are you sure? It's because of their experiences. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they feel safe here and they are scattered. They feel unsafe. They want to avoid him. That's why you see people, they are cool with their friends, but they want to avoid men. Anything that has to do with
Yes.
men, they want to avoid it.
Yes.
So it's possible that people find themselves in this space because of what they have been through in
Mm.
their lives.
Yes. That's so true. And sometimes even when they want to avoid, when they don't avoid men, they avoid
Mhm.
marriage in general. They're just like, you
Yeah,
know what?
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't
I
want
don't,
to
yeah,
deal with this.
I don't want to deal with it anymore. I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired because they have been through a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
At that point they feel like I'm so stupid. Why am I doing this and all of that?
Mm.
So that's it.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I'm going to ask you another question. So can from an Islamic perspective, how can we begin to heal emotionally and also spiritually, of course, from the wounds um that shape our attachment behaviors?
Okay. Okay, so what is what I really preach to people. I tell people that reliance on Allah is a big deal. And one
Mm.
of the things I tell people from the beginning, I have a sticker that says, love Allah before you love your partner. He get why. If you come to
Yes.
my premarital, I'll give you. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you are wounded, remember, Allah is absolute. He is the
Yes.
healer. You go
Yes.
back to Him.
Yes.
Most of the time, we rely on relationships, rely on our husbands, rely on our marriages, and Allah is merciful, but at the same time, I don't want to use the word jealous. You can't place somebody above Allah, and Allah will
You
not test you
can't.
with it.
You can't.
Allah will test you with that person that you put
Yes.
above him. He's going to
Mm.
test you with that husband that you think is more than Allah, with that
Mm.
your wealth, with that your beauty, with that Allah will test you somehow.
Yes.
So knowing that, going back to the basics, loving Allah, and you
Mm.
cannot love Allah without knowing Him. And I
Mm.
find this, I say this a lot. Have you started with the attributes and beautiful names of Allah? The what He called Himself, His capacity and His capability. You don't
Yeah.
know. When you
Subhanallah.
go back to Him by His name, He said He is the one that is capable of doing things for you. He
Mm.
has wealth, He has love, He has everything you ever want. Go back to Him. And that's where you're going to start from. Our attachment is so much to, sometimes it's not attaching yourself to people, it's attaching yourself to things, to your project, so things that you're feeling that you can do it.
Yes.
Yes, you cannot do nothing without Him.
Yes. You
So
can't.
we are going to humble ourselves back. If you are hurt, go back to knowing that Allah is loving. Allah, how can Allah describe us when we were nothing? And it's like magic from the
Yeah.
womb. You have
Mm.
from just sperm, and he created us. And yet we don't pay for nothing. We are living our lives. Breathe. I know how much they sell what they call it, life support. We can't
Yeah.
afford it. We cannot. I
Mm.
can tell you like 50% of people in this whole world cannot afford that life support. But he gave all
Yes.
of this. How much more love can you find? And he
Hmm.
described himself as
Al-Wadud.
love himself is love. Like,
Yes.
and you cannot experience that love. See, when you go back to Allah by his names, I so much believe in understanding Allah through his attributes and his name. I'm still exploring. Like I got lost in his names and attributes because it
Mm.
says he's capable of holding our hands. But we are supposed
Yes.
to hold his hand before we hold any other person's hand. This pain is coming from attachments. It's coming from attaching ourselves to people, attaching ourselves to things, attaching ourselves to people that are just like tool for Allah for us.
Mm.
But we
Mm.
hold on to the gift that Allah has given to us, human being, as gifts, our wealth, our everything, our body, our knowledge. We hold on to it, we put it on our chest instead of our hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Allah is when troubles comes, it becomes a problem. we don't want to lose it. And when you don't want to lose it, you start feeling pain. You start running up and down that I don't want to lose these things. Whereas you're supposed to go back to Allah and place those things, people in their right
In
places.
yes.
So go
Yeah.
back to Allah,
Mm,
understand Him, go back to why you were created,
mm,
go back to what He asks us to do. And there's nothing as beautiful as understanding yourself through the description of Allah that has given to us. We don't know ourselves. Go and know yourself through the description Allah has given to us. And that's
mm,
when you now realize that, so I am just nothing. Let me humble myself. And when you do that, your attachment to things, to people will be adjusted. And you realize that,
yes.
okay, I don't have to put things in my heart. Let me just
Mm,
keep it somewhere. I don't mean that you're not going to love. You are going to love, but you remember that love is just the one that loves you is even more. And
mm,
because we don't know the capacity of Allah, we just do things like
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. We,
We
we, we don't
undermine his
embrace
might. We
we
undermine
don't
his
we
might.
don't
Yeah.
we don't embrace him in half in totality. We are
Yes.
embracing the way the energy at which you take to embrace our partners,
Mm,
our in our relationship and our marriage. Use that energy to embrace Allah. You have a clearer vision, clearer path to knowing yourself, and then things will be lighter. I
yeah.
recommend people reading books. Like I love reading books, and there's nobody comes to my space that I don't recommend Reclaim Your Heart and Healing to Emptiness for. It's a very good book. I even read
Mm.
it for people in my community. Like you have to read it. That
Reclaim
book
your heart. Yes.
art by
Yes.
Yasmin Mujahid, and the
Yeah.
same person Healing the Emptiness by Yasmin Mujahid too. It is
Yes.
very beautiful,
Yeah. A
very,
very
very good.
good
It's
book.
like a
Yeah.
guide to emotional and spiritual well-being.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's a clearer picture of you and how you can navigate your emotions.
Yes, yes, mashallah, mashallah. I agree. I totally agree with you. You see, when we know Allah's names and we are able to
Mm,
use it, like you said, I'm still, navigating it myself because sometimes I get lost in it and I try to want to have a deeper understanding of what it means, to be able to connect with it. Once you know it, especially that loving, al-wadud, the loving, when you understand how Allah loves, I promise you, giving people 70 excuses in any
yeah,
drama will become so easy for you. And
exactly.
creating your boundaries around people will become a lot easier as well. And like you
Absolutely.
said, once we do not have boundaries, there is no way we are going to love ourselves enough. We can't. But if we boundary up, we will know
Mhm,
what we deserve, what we are worth.
mhm,
So when people are
mhm,
bringing a lot of BS to us, we are able to say, you know what, hold
mhm,
it right there. This is not for me.
mhm.
But you're going to also say it in a subtle and kind way that will make people
Exactly.
respect you for who you
Exactly.
are. Ah,
Mhm.
mashallah, I'm so enjoying this. I'm so enjoying it because we are coming to the end of this session and I'm like, God, this is the part where I really do not like, but unfortunately, we have to. Which
Yeah, we
brings
have
me,
to.
yeah, go ahead, please.
No, no, no. I was about I thought you wanted to ask a question or something
Oh,
rounding up the
yes,
session.
yes, yes. So,
Mm.
I know my next question would be mostly oh yeah, of course, for sisters. So,
Mhm.
you know, being a matchmaker, I've I've dealt with a lot of people, divorced women, widows,
Mm.
young single sisters, mature single sisters. They want to attract a healthy man, a God-conscious partner. But
Mhm.
what role does knowing their attachment style play in attracting that kind of love?
Okay. Now, if you figure out that, okay, so for attraction, I'd like to start with how about, okay, so you're looking for this God-fearing and good man, and
Hmm,
if you find them,
hmm,
are you sure you are your spec?
hmm. I
That's
like that.
that. So it's not about finding another person. Just find you first. I like to
Hmm,
say you are not going to look for you like be the spec that you're looking for.
hmm,
Be the speck that you're looking for. Search inwardly.
Hmm.
Fix your trauma. Fix you. Fix your inadequacies. Understand your needs and what you want.
Hmm.
My popular talk when I talk to people when they come, oh, okay, okay. So the popular thing they say is that, oh, it ticks all my boxes.
Hmm.
And I say, okay, where? How did you buy the box? Did you buy it at Amazon, or where did you buy the boxes that they are fitting in? Now,
Hmm.
you're going to curate that box that somebody is going to fit in by
Hmm.
yourself, but you cannot
Yes.
curate if you don't understand yourself and fixing yourself.
Yeah.
It's high time we start seeking ourselves and not
Hmm.
seeking for people for now. Now, when you are sure that, okay, you're working on yourself, we are all work in progress, but it starts with understanding your inadequacies and working on yourselves. And once
Hmm.
you do that, you're on that journey, you're loving yourself. You're not going to be
Yeah.
desperate. You're not going to be anxious. You're going to
Yeah.
walk through and get secure.
Hmm.
Secure with yourself.
Yes.
Loving who you really are, how you are created. You're not looking for somebody to love you. Let them come and love what they found in you.
Hmm. Mashallah.
Then at that time, you'll be able to say there's nothing wrong with people who are divorced, sitting up and finding themselves in a
Mm-hmm.
loving manner,
Yeah.
knowing that they're working on their inadequacies, working on their shortcomings, and all of that. And a lot of women are just unfortunate to find bad people. And
Yeah.
some of these things are things that we cannot just do everything humanly possible and put prayer to Allah.
Hmm.
Because, and of course, we don't have the keys to all these things absolutely. It's with Allah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you are not secure, your
Hmm.
emotions are not in one space, you cannot calm down to even pray. That's it.
Hmm.
If you don't find yourself, you cannot have the right spirituality, honestly.
Yeah.
If your emotions are
Yes.
everywhere, if you're anxious, you can't calm down to do the right things to ask Allah
That's true.
because
Very
you are
true.
running after something. So
Yes.
you work on yourself. The part of you looking for somebody is you working on yourself. Ask the normal question when you find people. You don't get carried away with love once you find a guy.
Yeah.
I tell people we are going to look for secret investigator. When you already it's so hard working on yourself. Now imagine that you work so hard to pull your money together to work on yourself. Now you
Yeah.
should protect yourself enough not to hand yourself over to some kind of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So once you work on yourself, you have know yourself as somebody of value.
Hmm.
You have upgraded yourself both mentally, spiritually, and otherwise in terms of whatever you are doing, you know, and
Hmm.
you should be able to protect yourself enough not to be handed over to just anyhow person. So that's
Hmm.
at that time, then you value yourself. You want to ask the right questions. You're not loving with your head. Sorry, you're loving with your heart alone, you're loving with your head. At that time, you want to know and know and know. And when you do
Hmm.
all things humanly possible, then you come back to Allah.
Hmm.
You go
Wow.
to Allah. You cannot trust yourself enough. Go back to
Yes.
Allah. And let me tell you, the process of knowing yourself and forming yourself, understanding yourself, is a long process. You see, if you are genuine,
Hmm.
Allah will guide you. If you are
Hmm.
genuine, you're not running a race of whatever. And the part of, Qadar is written.
Yeah. I
A
agree.
lot of people are meant to. I have seen people who are good people and they got divorced.
Yeah.
And you know what people will say, oh, she's a court, she's a first. You know the part of the world that we have, the woman is the
Yeah.
problem, and all of that. Even though when they know that the man, if a man beats, they will say, hey, what did you do that a man beats you? Can you imagine that?
I know, right?
It's
I
so
know.
crazy. It's not
Crazy
crazy.
questions.
Honestly.
They ask
I,
such questions and you're like in your
exactly.
head.
And I like I'm gonna cap this up here, like saying marriage is like any other goal in life.
Yeah.
Right. When marriage goal seems so blurry, pursue
Hmm.
other goals. Don't stop.
Hmm. Yeah.
Live life. It's
Hmm.
like it's out of your control. You have done
Yeah.
everything. You have worked on yourself. You are still working on yourself. You are learning. You are growing in the process. You are doing everything, crossing all T's and dotting all
And
I's.
yeah.
And it's looking like it's not coming. There's nothing you can do. You cannot go and be begging man to come and marry you.
Hmm.
Do other goals. Sit
Hmm.
down and structure your life. What can I do? My goals
Yeah.
spiritually, my goals personally, my career and business goal, my health goals. Keep working on that and living life. And I tell
Hmm.
you, before you know it, it's just like being energetic and working. Before you know it, you meet up. with
Yeah.
anybody that wants to marry you. And even if
Yes.
you sit down at the same place, still looking out to marriage alone and not pursuing, and that's how it is going to be.
Yes, I agree with you.
So,
Yes.
so it's a whole lot of work for us.
Yeah.
And we cannot start if you don't understand and identify, but genuinely want to
Mm-hmm.
work on yourself.
MashaAllah.
So I hope I'm able to respond to that very well.
Yes. Oh my God, you've been doing justice to all the questions. Wow, mashallah. May Allah continue to increase your beneficial knowledge. So,
Amen.
so what are some practical steps that you can, share with women, that they
Mhm.
can take to move from insecure to secure attachment? And this is especially if they have experienced divorce, rejection or betrayal. What are those tips that you can share with them?
Okay, so healing is a big deal, and healing is not going
Yeah.
to be just is firstly, I would say, firstly accepting you first.
Mm,
Just accept yourself first and forgive yourself. Accept what happened. Some people keep blaming themselves, and when you look at the story, actually, you realize that they are not at fault. Maybe a certain
mm,
percentage, actually, but maybe it's just unfortunate and all of that. You will not
mm,
leave that space if you don't forgive yourself.
mm,
That's it. You will not leave that. If you wallow in the pain and the back and all of that, you will not leave that space. And once
mm.
you forgive yourself, have the intention that I want to stand up. And I would always say something, find support system. Once you
Yeah.
decide that I want to work on myself, I want to start,
Mm.
find support system. Find support system, a
It's very
community of
important.
like mind that you can go to, that can they can talk about, okay, you. It's not
Mm.
going to be a place where only married women are talking
Yeah,
like,
talking.
once my husband and I are going outside, you get triggered. You get
Yes.
that. But in a circle where we have the mix of everything, and divorced people will come here and talk about, and without being judged, you have to
Mm,
leave a space where you are judged. I don't mean the environment, leave the
mm,
circle. Even if in the same house, just leave the circle where they constantly remind you of your hurt that you're trying to forget. Leave the
mm,
space. Find a community of people that can remind you that yes, you can do it. And in that space, that's when you can seek for help. And I just want to strongly recommend, healing through the Quran, reading books, You see, all of these things is a personal decision. If you like, tell people to go and read books, they will not still read books. I'm
yeah.
honest. They
Yes.
need somebody to hold their hands. In that situation, sometimes you can't make the right decision. You fall back all the time. Just like even the right people that are not in any problem, a romantic relationship, they still fall.
Mm,
But your fall is so drastic that you need somebody to still pull you and say, yes, you can do it. You cannot keep
yeah.
wallowing in that shit that you are. No.
Yeah.
So
I
you need
agree.
somebody to pull your hands. As at that time, then you can
Mm,
seek professional support on how you are going to heal. But you
yeah.
cannot seek professional support if you don't identify that you need help. And you
Mm,
cannot need help if you don't walk through and understand your path. Forgive yourself and be in the community of people that can say, yes, let's do this together. Are you afraid? I can do this. We can do
yeah.
this. And
Mm,
with that, then I think it's just a start. And you're not going to heal in a day, in 2 days. It's a process, and that's it. You fall
mm.
back. That's why you need a community. At the time you say,
Yes.
I'm tired today, you have somebody to hug you, even if it's a virtual hug, and tell you,
I
say, you
know.
you can't do it alone.
You
So, and if
can't.
until you're able to get to that space,
Yeah, I
I
agree
think,
with you.
yeah, you
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. So, my my last question for you today would be, I promise it's going to be my last question for you. So, what would you say to a sister who, who feels unmotivated, who feels discouraged? A sister who has been doing the healing work but hasn't found the right partner. Because I get to talk to a lot of sisters during matchmaking process because I do a lot of counseling, a little bit of counseling with them.
Okay.
And I realize that the challenge they have is finding the right partner. They're doing all the healing work and all of that.
Mhm,
So I want
mhm.
to hear your advice. What would you say to such a sister?
Okay, to that sister, this is out of your control.
Mashallah.
Honestly, it is out of your control. And we
Yeah.
keep grinding until we get there. When you
Mm,
figure something out, and you, the truth is, there is nothing we can do. Some
mm,
things are actually out of your control. But you, are
yeah.
you healing? Are you working on yourself? Are you getting better? That should be a plus for you. And I
Yeah.
know as human being, we get tired because we have not gotten what we want.
Mm,
We get tired. We have been trying. If I were in their shoes, I would feel bad. Even in not
mm,
there, I'm trying to run after something and I felt stuck because I've not gotten that thing. I would be
mm,
tired. But that's
yeah.
why I see, because we are human, we get tired. We are human. We get to get to ask questions, cry and feel like, no, is it because I'm not enough and all of that? You get back
Mm,
into that shape and all of that.
yeah.
And one thing that you should put in at the back of your mind, have you done everything that is humanly possible?
Mm,
Yes, if you say yes, then keep trying. That man, guided serenity will not just go and bring a man from the streets and just say,
no.
okay, come and go and
No.
marry. It's only
We don't
Allah that will,
manufacture them.
as Muslim, we should believe in Qadar
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much in Qadar. After, I say this again, after you have worked, I've done everything humanly possible. And
Mm,
then there's nothing we can do. It's just like somebody that is seeking for the fruit of the womb and they've done
mm,
everything. And I just be saying that it's not your time. At the time, you just
mm,
answer up and say, well, I'm not even doing anything anymore.
mm,
And that's when you get pregnant. These
mm,
things, I get it a lot. So there's
mm,
nothing we can do. We cannot force somebody on you. My own
yeah.
is, are you working on your inadequacies? Are you pursuing a gap? Just like I said, marriage is like one of the goals. Why
Mm,
not face other goals and pursue them while you are waiting for this? You're not going to say a total no, or you're going to say, I'm not going to pursue anymore. You are trying, but you keep doing other things, get distracted, and be in the community. Anytime you feel tired, go back there. You find somebody that will lift you up. But this
mm,
thing is, my dear, it is out of our control. We
yeah.
keep praying to Allah, and that's where that part of, I just used to laugh at this. I said, okay, imagine Allah has a secretary that we can access.
Oh wow, that would be cool.
They would, they would have bribed the man, I be the angel or whatever, to see
Mm,
what is happening in the future. But Allah
yeah.
is in His mercy, is powerful, is beyond what we can think of. There's
Mm,
nothing you want to see. And
yeah.
that is why we are human, and that's why it is Allah.
Yes. Yes.
And so,
Wow. Ah, subhanallah. Subhanallah. What a rich and, heart-opening conversation. Sister Bushra, may Allah reward you. I hope I'm saying your name right, Sister Bushra, right?
Bushra, yeah. But I
Yeah.
like it when you call me Mrs. Bomb. That's what everybody call me.
I was just going to say that, like, she's also popularly known as Mrs. Bomb, you know? Yeah, so Mrs. Bomb, may Allah reward you immensely for the wisdom you've shared with us
I
today.
mean,
And to
I
all
mean,
our sister walking this path, remember, your emotional patterns do not define your worth. You heard it from Mrs. Baum. She said it. And she also said that healing is possible. So
yeah.
secure halal love is also possible. But you know
Mhm,
what? It begins with knowing and honoring yourself.
mhm,
Wow. That's all it takes, my dear sisters. Wow,
mhm.
Jazakumullah khairan for tuning in. And do not forget to subscribe, share this episode with a sister who needs it, and follow us at guided.serenity for more empowering conversations like this. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruk wa natubu ilayk. It's been wonderful having you around, and I hope to collaborate and work with you soon. Because as I was listening to you, I'm like, yes, this is the right person to bring for this workshop. This is the right person. You know, I I hope and pray that you will be able to honor our invite when we do call on you, Mrs. Bomb. Wow.
Always honored. This is what I'm passionate about. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Um,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much for having me. So,
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Do you have anything you want to add or say to our listeners before we call it a day?
oh well, I will just say, life is beautiful.
Yeah,
Seek
it is.
it.
Mm,
You are beautiful. Seek
mm,
you. Allah is
MashaAllah.
merciful. Seek Him. And you
MashaAllah.
know what? This word is just a passing phase. Don't take
Mm,
it too hard on yourself. We have a
yeah,
better place in the future,
yeah.
inshallah.
Inshallah.
So that's just it. Thank you
Oh,
for
that's
having me.
Alhamdulillah,
Thank you
you're
so much
welcome.
for having me.
You're
Mhm.
welcome. Thank you so much for honoring our invite. So until next time, sisters, dear listeners, may your heart be guided, may your path be blessed, and may your soul find peace in the journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.